Irresistible Internet Radio at roughedgefm.com.
The art of magic is mystery, majesty, pageantry, and craft. It's also about history, marketing, networking, and more. All of these topics and others are discussed on Magic Talk with your hosts, renowned magician James Lantine and owner of the White Rabbit Magic Shop, Joshua Lantine. Now on Rough Edge FM.
All right, don't adjust your dials. It is Wednesday. It is no longer 3 o'clock. It's now 3:25 because this is deja vu.
So, didn't we do this before?
Yeah, I know, and nobody has any clue about it because that is the beauty of live broadcasting when live doesn't work.
But if it's live, then they were here watching, and then we just disappeared.
Yeah, we were live, but nobody else was.
So we didn't have any listeners.
No, we went live, and then Facebook decided to kick us off and
immediately.
Well, we were talking about magic, and so Facebook is taking a good look at us and going top 5 of the Magic Talk circuit, and they kicked us off.
But so was it immediate, or did we have some airtime?
We had I don't know, 2 minutes maybe.
So yeah, I mean, we've done this before. Then
we have done this before, and
why are we here?
Let's see if we can recap what we did. So we talked about beautiful people. We talked about our guests. That we were going to be doing 2 people for the guests, and let's see. And they look like they were related.
Take a breath. You don't have to get nervous.
Oh, and I also pointed out the fact that we were wearing the same logos.
Oh, yeah, because you decided to wear your uniform today.
I did. So
I decided to wear mine, whichever one comes first.
That about sums up where we left off. So, but fortunately for us, it's my mother who's always listening and nobody else. So nobody realized that we just had that little fiasco, except for you and me and our 2 guests, which I'm going to bring to the stage once again. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Migz and Raven.
Hello.
See, he was ready for it this time.
So who's top bill? Is it Raven and Migz, or is it Migz and Raven?
Well, see how you just said that? You said Raven and Migz, and then you go Migz and Raven. See how one flows and one doesn't? It's all about the
flow.
Yeah, what rolls off the tongue. Now, it's funny because somebody once told us, the M should come before the R. It just sounds better, Raven and Migz. However, one time at the Magic Castle, we were called Maven and Riggs. We really were. Literally, by Bob, he said, ladies and gentlemen, Maven and Riggs. And I'm like,
right.
For the non-magicians, those are 2 mind mentalists, So we came out like, I think you had the wrong show. And then you want to try that? He's like, he felt so embarrassed, and he came back.
We're in the wrong room.
Yeah, he redid it again, which is cool.
Oh, it's kind of like our show.
They didn't know it. Yeah,
we redid it again. So when we were attempting to do our first broadcast, we were actually talking about how you guys got together and kind of met, and it was like this long 6-year process that's been going on. Because I always thought that Migz, you had performed for us first before the 2 of you joined up. Because if I knew that you 2 were actually partners in crime with magic, I would have brought both of you on.
Yeah, it might have been new at that time, Migz. No, you think? Or were we doing it fully? I don't think so.
No, I think we were still developing. I mean, we were performing a lot downstairs. But I don't think we had been booked yet as a 2-man group at that time.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I think I do remember that. You were saying you were working on something with Raven, and it was in the works, and you were developing it, and then you'd bring it to the table when it was all ready to go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I got to tell you, when we saw Migz for the first time, he did a silent act, right? I mean, it was pretty much you did the candles and things like you did the linking rings, all the music, and I thought it was because he didn't like to talk, but now I'm kind of discovering that Migz really likes to talk.
Yeah, we I can speak for it. We both worked the Magic Castle last week in the parlor. but separately. I did early 3 shows, and then Migz did the late shows. And I got a chance to. He was watching my shows, and I got a chance to watch his first show, and he was killing it. And not only was he talking a lot, but he was making them laugh, and they were having a great time. So yeah, Migz has definitely added a lot to his show, and he's really doing well. Yeah.
I wanted to say too, we as magicians, we all start off, doing close-up magic. And I think, that develops first, and then you develop as a more complete magician. And then, I wanted to go more into stage, and I always had that, in the back. And then you guys gave me the opportunity to show it off. That was everything. So a lot of that stuff, needed a stage to be done on.
Exactly.
Well, I got to tell you, I started off on stage first.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
And I started, when I was 16 years old, I had a lighter than air levitation. I had a zigzag. I had a cutting in 6. I had a sub.
Wow. 16, huh? That's pretty good.
Years old. And my parents hated it because the lighter than air levitation weighed about 350 pounds. And we're sitting there lugging it in the back of a Cadillac.
Right.
Lighter than air.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But I
lighter than air,
yeah. I didn't do close up right off because I shook too much. And
our
so
family has a long history of tremors.
we do. Yeah, it started with my mom, but
Shaking all the time.
so I didn't feel comfortable, and it was only until I was about maybe 35 years old that I really dove into close up, because it was at that point that I stopped shaking.
Yeah, I could see how that could be an issue. And, just in general, we all kind of go through that in the beginning too, which is especially when you're in front of people that you're really nervous, like the Magic Castle, audiences and stuff. Even, at times, you kind of get out there and you get nervous. So yeah, you definitely got to work through it. But I mean, in your case, maybe you had a little more shakes for another reason. But yeah, you worked through it then, James? Yeah.
What's that?
Did you work through it? I didn't really notice it last time I seen you perform. So you.
Well, I'm now 55, so it's been about 20 years, and I just, I think when I hit 35, I stopped caring. It's like, if I mess up, I mess up. If it's like, I'm here. I've been doing it for a long time. Actually, the truth is, I got put on medication for migraines, and one of the side effects of that medication is it's used for tremors. And so, like Josh was saying, my family has a history of tremors.
Yeah,
my mom did, and Josh actually has MS, so his tremors are even worse. But this medication that I went on, I found out later on the reason why I stopped shaking is because that medication was used to prevent tremors. And so I really dove into close up after that, because my hands were smooth, and I wouldn't drop cards. so that's when I kind of worked backwards. I went from the stage to the close up room.
Yeah. I wanted to add, it's interesting when Raven first approached me and he said, "Hey, why don't we do some close up sets downstairs, in the downstairs area of the Magic Castle?" I mean, it was kind of exactly that, to get over that nervousness, especially in the worst place you can do it, which is in front of other magicians.
Yeah.
And once you conquer that, I mean, you can play anywhere. And
that is a tough thing. It's you either like to perform for other magicians or you don't, because we all start out, excuse me, not performing for magicians. And then all of a sudden now you have this audience of critics watching you and going, I've seen you do that. Like, like, oh man, I gotta watch my move, So it's you, like Migz said, you get past that, then you can really, get past a lot. So it's good.
So let me ask you, because I know one of the things, we have a magic fellowship that we do on Thursdays, first Thursday of every month, which unfortunately is when you guys do most of your shows at the Vineyard.
First Thursday. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, one of the things that we have a standing rule, is that if it's not asked, you don't provide. So if somebody wants a critique, they will ask you for it. Otherwise, don't offer it. Because it's inevitable. I belong to like the SAM and the IBM and all those things. And that you're forever getting up there, which, like you said, takes a lot of courage. And then you get up there and you always get the guy who's like, well, I think you ought to do this and do. And
James, Migz and I both performed last week, and I experienced that very situation. And Migz and I actually had a conversation about this exact issue. And, like you said, I'm not asking for notes. And then they're not even telling me, they're telling Migz about it. And then he's going to come and tell me, so I find that to be ridiculous. And honestly, James, in these days, as I continue to grow older, and I am all about supporting magicians, raising them up, trying to help them grow, and do anything I can. I will point out issues like, hey, that double lift or this or that wasn't good, but let me show you a better way. But not rip them apart, but build them up. And we all started from, just learning. And more than ever, man, seriously, more than ever, I am all about trying to help the next guy to achieve. If they're passionate about it, I'm into helping them out, definitely. And Migz is the same way. Migz is phenomenal. He does the same thing. He's really good.
But you do kind of have to tiptoe around that. It is a sensitive issue, and you kind of have to have a feel for it too.
Yeah.
You don't want to overstep it.
Right. And you got to tell the good with the bad so that, nobody likes to be critiqued. Right. And, but there's a way to do it. And Migz and I, between him and I, we do it a little bit differently because we don't have any filters. So I could just really tell him no, that was terrible. Yeah. You know what? Don't do that. And immediately he goes, okay, thank you. It just cuts all the crap out. And this way, we just get right to the good stuff. And that's why Migz and I really are a good team. We don't have any egos.
Well, we've mentioned something like that. It's an issue of accountability. We hold each other accountable.
Right.
He said it, he says, hey, if you're going to be the sleight of hand guy, that sleight of hand's got to look good. It's a little sloppy there. Or, the same vice versa, if he's.
But you guys have a working relationship, so it makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
We watched. I went to a show a couple of weeks ago, and the magician that performed came up and it's like, so what'd you think? And I got to tell you, honestly, I was like,
well,
but I just said, it was great. It was a good job. Right. And then he came up to me afterwards. He's like, hey, do you have any advice or any comments for me?
Wow.
Well, at that point, then I was like, okay, if that's what you're looking for, let's talk.
I kind of
right.
But prior to that, it was just like, hey, yeah, good job.
I love that, James. Seriously, and that's the way it should be. I think unless somebody's asking for notes, don't give them.
Yeah,
right.
Totally agree.
But there's the politeness behind it. Is that if they're looking for it, by all means. If they're not, it's like, hey, yeah, cool, keep it up.
Yeah. Just these days I just get notes mostly from Migz and vice versa, and because we know that we have that eye for working with each other, and we can just cut right through it right away. So it's great to be able to have Migz as a soundboard for and vice versa. We back and forth. It really has strengthened our magic and made us even better.
Yeah, even it's funny. Even last night. He was like, hey, I'm going to do the House of Magic show. Here's my set list. What do you think? And I went right back at him. I go, well, you got this issue and this, and you're going to have to think about that. And then he goes, all right. So he redoes it. And then he comes back. And we just went back and forth for like a good, what would you say, Raven, like an hour maybe?
Yeah.
And then in the end, he had a great list. But see, through that conversation, like new ideas and new tricks that we didn't even think about came into light.
It'd be a great show.
Now the show's even better.
I kind of hope so. I really do, since you're performing it at my place.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show. We really have some good stuff put together. I mean,
but even then, it's funny when I did the show at your place. There were some unexpected things, and pop up, and I'm sitting and watching the first half, and I'm looking at Reeve, and I go, what do I do? I literally. He saved me, because anything he would have said, I would have trusted. Sometimes we are that vulnerable, and we do need a person that we can. If he would have said, do this, I would have done it without thinking. But because I have that much trust in that.
Yeah.
Later I would have said, I don't know about that. No, but he's usually spot on, and I trust his decisions, especially when I was I was vulnerable. And then during the break, he said, okay, run that through me a few times, and and that much helped to make the smoothest show that I could. and
Yeah.
and hopefully nobody noticed.
You
Right.
know, it's like having a live mirror.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
like having a mirror that talks back to you.
Perfect. Perfectly said. Yeah, no, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a great, and for us, the journey of creating everything and putting it together, to me, is half the fun, if not more. And to see it, you this thing born, and then you put it out there, like the Castle Act, and then you run it through for a whole week, and people give you nice feedback, and it's really rewarding. We do enjoy it quite a bit. It's nice.
So, Raven, you started out obviously with standard magic, and then you went to mentalism. So, what drew you to that?
To me, I think it's probably one of the strongest pieces of magic you can do. When you can, I always say it this way: when you can divine someone's personal information, there's nothing any stronger than that. And I prove it to Migz over and over. We have I do a Bob Cassidy routine where I involve 3 people: a childhood friend, childhood pet, and a drawing. And when you see their faces at the end, when I get what they're saying, and I can even pump some more information out of it, they're blown away. Now, it's one thing to I got you your playing card, but when I can get little Ronnie, your friend from when you were 5, they're going to remember that for a long time to come. So I realized, and that is a lot of performance-based magic too. So, and that took time to develop that, but yeah, so it's a nice blend, and I love doing that. To me, and people, actually come up to you all the time, and how long have you had this gift? And and of course it's a performance, but I try to play it off as well as I can. I'm still in character, and and it's a nice balance. So yeah, I love doing sleight of hand too. I do sleight of hand in the close-up room as well, but mentalism, I think, is probably the strongest type of magic you can do, in my opinion.
Yeah, I saw you doing something for one of our kids when you were here for Migz's show.
Okay.
And that was a standard close up.
Yeah. I probably had some kind of 3-card Bonnie. Well, in my character, the Raven character, I tell them I'm from New York, and I do a 3-card Bonnie routine to begin. It's a little bit different than most. Develop my own handling to a routine that I don't think I've ever seen anybody else do. You've seen similar, but I don't think anybody's done it this way. So it's been fun. I used it all week at the castle, and it's a nice way to start a routine, and it's going to give you a background, tell you a little bit about who I am. So it's I like the little mix of both, and you'll get mostly mind reading stuff. I'm really going to give you some strong magic this time when we come up there.
Cool.
Sure.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. I know a
Me
couple
too.
of people that were at the previous show were like, "Oh, we're going to come back." And
Excellent. Migz did a great job. Definitely.
Yeah, Migz, I got to tell you, there is one longtime viewer that he comes to every show. He supports pretty much everything we do. I used to give him lessons, and he's a tax attorney, and he during tax season he's just like goes crazy. So we don't do lessons until he breaks. But he saw your show, and he said if he comes back, and I don't care if he does the same show, I'll come and watch it again.
Outstanding.
Wow, that's a compliment.
Yeah,
fantastic.
You know what Lance Burton says? You got to do something so well, people are willing to pay to see it again.
Exactly.
So that's a compliment. Yeah.
A la Johnny Ace Palmer, right? He's still doing
Oh my gosh,
this beautiful act after I don't know how many years. He was there last week with us too. Boy, he was packing the close-up room. Fantastic.
Yeah, I was really hoping to get down because I wanted to see him and Elliot Hunter.
Oh yeah, he's on stage.
I've been following him since.
Yeah, Migz is friends with him. Yeah.
Oh, are you? Well, I've been
Well,
following.
we kind of met. We kind of started chatting a little. So yeah.
Nice. So I was curious as to see how he kind of grew, and because I know he's an adult now. So, so Raven, when you do mentalism, I mean there are people that do mental magic, and then there are people that do mentalism. Are you a mentalist or are you a mental magician kind of deal?
I would probably say I'm probably a mental. If I had to phrase it, I would say a mental magician. I do a little both. I can show you how I can cheat at cards by using mind reading to gain a bit of an advantage in both poker and blackjack, or I can tell you about your childhood friend. So we could use cards, or I could even tell you a little bit about the day you were born and how it relates to a deck of playing cards. So I kind of use them that way. They're used in presentation, but not in the typical sleight of hand way, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're not using a lot of props per se.
No, not at all. Actually, no, not at all. Yeah, couple.
Yeah, because there are some mentalists where I've seen where they're like just prop galore.
Yeah, no, I don't. I didn't have a lot of props. Not at all.
Nice.
It'll be fun. Yeah.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to that show, and
I am excited. You have a great little Matt. You have a great magic shop, and I love what you're doing. Your passion, both you and your son have, is definitely something that's inspiring, and I love being around it. And I think you got a great thing going. And Migz and I, we're delighted to be part of it. So it's great.
Cool.
Yeah. And you can be happy knowing that his set list does have my stamp of approval.
Oh, good. now you can perform.
We spent an hour on it last night. I wanted to.
So, we're one of the things that we're hoping to be able to also do is in our parlor show, which we're working with the city right now to try to find a bigger venue so that it's more accommodating to a larger parlor type style. But in next year, we're really hoping to get the two of you in for the parlor show as well, not just.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned it briefly, but we do have, like you said, we have our own little thing in Simi Valley, Magic at the Vineyards, and we have a great stage, which we're fortunate to have. I recently got married in October, and when I was looking at this venue that my friends were at, I was like, this would be a great place for doing magic. And 9 months later, instead of having a baby, we created a magic show. And we have this, like I said, that first Thursday of every month, we've had nothing but Magic Castle performers like Pop Hayden and Arthur Trace. And we have Simone Turkington, and it's going to go on and on. So,
George Tavar. And we had George
Tavar, which is one of our buddies too. So it's been a fun thing. And then we opened the show, the first episode, if you will. And we're going to continue to grow as the magic the months go on, and we'll see what happens. Just like you guys, it's great that you have it in your town, and I think Simi Valley for us, the people love it here as well. So it's kind of cool.
Now, Raven, are you from Simi Valley?
No, actually, when I married, my wife lives out here, so I moved out to her location. I was living in the valley for a while, and I also lived. I split it. I lived in Santa Clarita for 20 years. And the San Fernando Valley for about 20 years. And now I've been here for a few. Yeah.
Yeah, and make sure in LA.
Yeah, well, I actually, but 818. I live in Northridge.
Oh, okay.
Valley, yeah.
Nice.
I grew up in LA, but I moved out here when I went to Cal State Northridge. And about, I think in 96, and then I pretty much just stayed up here. And I love it. I love the valley.
If I remember correctly, there was another show going on in Simi Valley, wasn't there?
There is. As a matter of fact, it's a buddy of ours, Steve Mitchell, puts on the Junkyard restaurant here in Simi Valley. Okay. And not only is he hosting a parlor show or stage show, parlor show, I guess, once a month, but he's also doing a close-up show once a month with 2 shows on a Sunday. So this weekend, Sunday, actually, Arthur Trace is going to be there, and he's going to do his bit, close-up table. I'm going to bring my wife and I. We're going to definitely check it out. It's down the block from here, and I'm going to have Arthur the following month. It just so happens, so it's kind of funny. But it's another great venue too. Definitely,
Arthur's great. I love.
Oh yeah, man.
Creative.
So we're Pop Hayden's going to be there this Thursday.
Pop Hayden will be doing his full 30. What did we say? Makes 35
minutes? 35 minutes.
Yeah, and he's one of the best. He's one of our heroes in Magic, and he killed it last week at the castle. And I heard just everybody talking about is multiplying bottles. They were like, how does he do that? And the guy is just the one of a kind. He's this Pop Hayden, So we're honored to have this guy in our shows. We pinch ourselves George Tovar, Pop Hayden, Arthur Trace, Simone Turkington. These are all top performers that normally perform at the Magic Castle. So we're thrilled to have them.
Yeah. And I Pop Hayden was on my list of people to try to bring out. And then I saw him with you guys, and I was like, oh,
Hey, he will absolutely do it. I'm
You
sure.
know what? You give him a call. You never know.
I'll actually talk to him about it if you like. Well, you're going to be there, James.
I'm going to be there.
Yeah, you're going to be there.
I'm coming down tomorrow.
I'm sure he would love to.
Are there still tickets available?
There are still tickets available, and you can reach at ravenandmigz.com. That's Migz with a Z. Raven and 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 right there we have a link, Magic at the Vineyards. If you click on that, it'll give you the following 3 months. You can buy tickets for any one of them. So yeah, definitely.
Okay, so you have Pop Hayden coming up. Then your Arthur Trace is going to be the following.
Arthur Trace is going to be doing, I think it's October 7th, I believe, whatever the first Thursday is. I can look it up. And Simone is going to be doing, I believe, November 4th, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
and
correct on both those dates.
Correct, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so October 7th.
Perfect.
And November 4th. Yeah.
There you go. Perfect.
So this one is on a different Thursday because of a venue conflict, right?
Yeah, we it's at the wedding location or an event planner's place where they throw big events. So we have to be flexible. But they happen to have it trumps a $50,000 event. You know what I mean? Like, so we said yes, no problem, and we rescheduled. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm actually glad because it gives me an opportunity to be able to come down.
And I got to tell you, this place is gorgeous. Seriously, on Thursdays you can eat there and have dinner as long as you get there and have reservations before 6 o'clock. It's an outside eatery. They have little fireplaces. And Migz and I on a when we're not working on that first show, every Thursday, we go there and just mull around with the guests and let them know about the event that's once a month. And it's been a great thing. It's really a fun vibe out there and there's also a guy named Mike West who's a guitarist. Oh man, this guy's amazing. Yeah. He's playing his guitar while you're eating outside, and then you go see the magic show in the next room. So the tickets are either $21 for the general seating, or we have a VIP seating with tables. It's $31. We're bringing the Magic Castle to basically Simi Valley,
right?
And without all the expense, we have a great community here. So like you, James, I can see you guys have a great community out there, and people kind of like have fun. We like to create that vibe as well, a little bit more of a hometown kind of thing. We're going to go out and start to chat with the people before the show and to get to know them. And hey, good to see you back, Tom. Good to, and hey, that's your kid. I think that's what it's all about. We want to give back, and we had some really good experiences with some, 10, 12-year-olds where we showed them some magic, because you remember, that's how we got into it. And it's really fun to give back and watch them. Migz was putting smiles on his kids' faces. He came back to the next show, and he's coming back to the next one again. So to know that we made a difference just by creating our magic, I just remember when I was 12, and
where's that
nice.
kid?
It's really nice.
10 years. Let's see where that kid is in 10 years.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, one of the things that's cool for us is we taught a kid who had autism to do a show at a talent show for a school. His mom was in tears. Huh? Well, we taught him. How
to perform magic with autism.
It's grammar. Semantics.
The way he says things sometimes.
It didn't heal him.
It's funny. Again, he had autism, but
until he did the double lift.
And oh my gosh, it's a touch of God.
Yeah,
right. Read between the lines.
Yeah. But we worked with him, and I worked with a kid who had Down syndromes for a number of years, and he hardly talked. And by the time we finished, he was having conversations. And
well, you have what's the young man that's there on a monthly basis? I forgot his name, but
Kurt. Yep,
fantastic. And I love that you guys do that. He comes in and he's part of your fellowship, and he's actually. When Migz performed, he performed his bits too. And it was such a, man, it was so good to see the kid perform and to be able to give him some tips and stuff. I don't know. It's the older I get, the more I want to sort of give back to magic, it seems.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Yeah. So the vineyard came about then because you had your wedding there.
Got married, looked at this place and said, oh man, Migz, check this stage out. And then from there, I think Migz will tell you, like, by just doing these shows, we've expanded our horizons, and now we're doing stage magic or parlor magic, with large cards or stuff that plays to 75 people instead of 10 at the table.
Well, the issue was that, the pandemic brought this lockdown, and, we would go to the castle every week to perform, keep ourselves sharp, work on new stuff. And I mean, what was it? It was closed like for 14 months. And then
Wow.
Raven's like, we better find a place. Well, we kind of already had that in the back of our mind that we wanted to find some kind of residency somewhere.
Right.
But I think the pandemic just forced the issue. And I'm glad it did, because it kind of forced us.
You're gonna use that?
Yeah. We always wanted that. I've always wanted to have something. Literally, James, it's so funny. I live on Stowe Street, and right up the block, literally within walking distance, my wife is a teacher, and right past that is the venue. So I can ride a bicycle there. Like, it's like a dream come true, and it's gorgeous. Wait till you guys see it.
Come on, guys.
I set up the chairs today. I went in there and I put like 48 chairs out, and it's just such a pretty room. It's just because it's really, it's always well decorated for any event. So, and Saru, the owner, and Jimmy, fantastic people. They like what we're doing, and it's fun for everyone. We bring them a lot more guests for the dinner time, and then also, of course, cocktails as well. So it's a 2-drink minimum, but if you go and eat dinner there, they wipe that out, and you don't have to necessarily drink when you go in there, unless you want to. I have a lot of people that like to drink anyway, so it's up to them. So it's a fun time.
I'm a Coke guy, so
yeah, exactly.
That'll be my drink of choice. Well, actually, I'm a Dr. Pepper guy, but most restaurants don't have it. So,
okay.
Do you have time to stay on for a little bit, because we do a thing called PCA?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and we're gonna
review. You guys like to join our PCA meeting?
It's like Alcoholics Anonymous. It's
the Playing Cards Anonymous.
Yeah, it's people who are addicts for playing cards, and that's Joshua.
Okay. I probably Biggs. I love cool cards. Yeah, definitely.
So, all right, Josh, here, let me set you up.
There is an outbreak among us. It is limited to only a small portion of our population. They have a sickness. They have an addiction. They collect bicycle playing cards, which is bad for them, but great for us, because we have almost 500 decks of playing cards to choose from. They'll go crazy in here. They'll spend every last penny This is their story. This is Playing Cards Anonymous, here on Magic Talk.
All right, Josh. Oh, I'm not supposed to know who you are, so sorry. Go ahead.
I think he has to confess.
Well, okay, we've blown that cat right out of the water. I'm sure everybody knows. But hi, I'm Josh, and I'm a playing card addict.
Hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Plays along.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I haven't been in a meeting in a long time.
Thanks, guys. I have a recent update. Actually, my newest situation with my addiction is I found another deck that suits my style completely. It's called the Hinode deck, and it's a deck that looks like it is based around the Japanese flag of the rising sun. Actually, each card on the back looks like that for the back design.
So for the talking audience only, that not the viewing audience.
Oh, okay. So if people know what the flag, the rising sun, it is got the red circle in the middle, and it has the rays that are also red that are going across to the ends. What's going on?
Your mother's standing behind you.
I know. I can see that too.
Photobombing.
Why are you heckling me? This is my time.
I know. I'm sorry.
I am sharing my addiction.
You're about to earn your 6-month coin. Okay, keep going.
Okay, so now the two jokers, they're identical jokers, thank God. And they are actually a mountain landscape with a red circle that's painted around the mountain. So I thank God it's two identical jokers too, because you can do so much more with identical jokers. And the cards themselves, the faces are all standard types of faces. Even the court cards. I know, Dad, you think that one's rather disappointing when court cards aren't. They're not designed a special way, but the way they make up for it for the way that they feel. Actually, they feel really nice. It's a bit of a beefier deck of cards, but it feels like a thin crushed stock deck, even though it's not entirely that with the crushed stock. I especially like the two gaffed cards that come with it. I am a huge fan of wrong one. A huge fan of your double backers.
Sure.
Also, they give you a duplicate card, which I prefer a duplicate card over a lot of other things because you can do a lot with a duplicate card. Also, little plug, if you do like working with a duplicate card, there is a download video from Danny De Ortiz that he goes over all sorts of different things that he does with a duplicate card and duplicate card magic, which you should look at that because it is phenomenal. And this deck actually gives you the duplicate card to go with it. And the way that the back design works, one other thing is it actually behaves like a broken border back design because of the way that the arrays go across. You have the white that travels through the entire playing card out to the border. So when you do a fan of some sort, it actually has a really pretty design. If I can go and navigate my my camera, I can show you that the design is actually really nice.
We got it. We saw
It
it.
feels good.
Okay. So congratulations, you earned your 6-month coin.
How long have I been doing this? I earned my 6-year coin. I've been addicted to playing cards since the very start. I was going to say something when you guys were talking about it, but it's like everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I get it." I'm like 12 years old, 9 years old.
So
whatever.
how many do you have? How many decks do you have?
How many decks do I have?
Yeah. Personally, you have like a collection on the wall in your like room, like a selection like that, like a cool
650.
Nice.
So here
on display, like, or in the shop.
Well, it's in the shop and it's at my house. It's in a closet at my house
Gotcha.
right now because I got to build the wall.
Right.
I
That
also
would
got
be
to
cool.
find a place to put it where my wife won't get upset at me.
Yeah. Well, that's
that display in my.
So the way Joshua tends to operate is he puts an order in, he gets some new decks in, and it's always
take a little bit.
It's always a baker's dozen.
A little bit off the top.
Yeah.
I'd be the same way, bro. I love cards. Just like you got a lot of cool cards in your place, and it's like I don't even need them, but I just go, let me look at that one. You know, like they're just nice, and that's a big thing, right? I'm not a collector, but there's a lot of collectors that buy bricks, right? I mean, I'm not, yeah.
Yeah, we get a lot of people that will buy two. So they'll buy one that they can open and one that
and then to save. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Wow.
So,
and then some of them now I know the Nugget ones were like something that went really well when they were sold again, but are there any others that cards like that are collectors that go really well after years, or is that something that's not a frequent thing?
That they stick around.
They're worth the value. You know, later on, you're like, I bought like a limited edition, and now this deck is worth like $50 or something. Like,
oh yeah, they've got. Actually, there's a couple of them from Theory 11 that have done that.
Because I get the emails all the time. I'm like, well, I guess people collect them. I guess they're worth something after a while, right? Yeah, limited.
Yeah, this actually Virtuosos are one that they make the same design, the same card design,
right,
every single time. It's just a different color, and it represents a new year or a new season.
Okay, you gotta have it. Yeah.
So those ones are pretty popular.
A Bicycle comes out with a lot of cool stuff all the time. Like, you know,
yeah,
it's funny. You'll even catch them. I don't know which one it was. It's either CVS or what is it? The Rite Aid that have like a lot of times they'll have them on sale, like cool stuff. You're like, wow, these are on clearance or something. It's like it's amazing where you find like playing cards sometimes. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they we just got from our one of our distributors, we just got a deck that $250.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
So it's
That's
like
from the Cherry Casinos edition.
Okay,
from
I've seen that
Murphy's.
advertised. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that
so
special edition, right?
Special edition, golden gilded edge, gold foil through all the cards.
There he is.
So
wow.
I think
Hey,
they
he's-
repoed his background is what happened. He didn't pay for it or something. I don't know. And there he's back. There you go, Migz. We got you. It's cool. You look like you're in like some kind of I don't know, FBI agency there. You're trying to hide behind something.
Yeah, I'm in a photo booth now. Sorry, guys. I had to cut out and then.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
It's kind of like when they gosh, what was his name? Eddie Murphy and those guys did that cop movie, and they went into the little booth to talk about their feelings.
Exactly.
Actually, I think it looks better.
Yeah, it brings out your eyes.
There you go.
So one more time on the website.
Ravenandmigz.com. That's RAVEN AND, and Migz is spelled MIGZ.com. And you'll we have many links there to our videos and to just different presentations of stuff, and as well as the Magic at the Vineyard. So if you click on that tab, you can go see all the shows that we have currently, and we'd love to have you there. So it'd be great.
Are you guys talking about doing any kind of thing like season passes or anything like that? Or
Well, we're doing a test thing with this like a 6 months. We're going through December, and then we'll take a look at it and see what the owner's happy with, and what she's going to do forward from there. Like we were trying to couple it together with they have dinner on Thursdays, but when it gets cold, I don't know if that's going to be an outside thing. So that may change. There may be a couple of months that we go dark and then we come back, in more of a busier time. I think a junkyard does that too. So it might make sense to do that.
We're all learning.
Yeah.
Is it only an outdoor venue?
No, ours is indoor, but here's what they did, James. In the COVID situation, they were closed down. They had no events. So then the restaurants finally opened. Then they said, hey, why don't we just open on Thursday nights and we'll do dinner here, and we'll do it every month, like every Thursday. And it kind of took off. And that's when I said, maybe I could do the Magic on that day. They were already there and that room is empty and it could bring people in. So they went, yeah, that's a good idea. And that's how it all sprang out. She actually went yes right away, which is great. All I could say is no, right? I'd like to get a couple other locations. Right now we're in a tricky time. It's even the Castle when we performed last week. It's hit or miss as far as the amount of spectators. Some of the shows we didn't do because there were just not enough people. So if you can imagine, it's hard enough to fill the Magic Castle. Well, we're looking to fill our venues, and it's probably be even tougher, right? But I think the best way to fill, and notice, is word of mouth and getting your name out there and talking to people and telling them what you got in town and that kind of thing.
We're really fortunate because one of the things that we discovered with Santa Paula is you can be a small fish in most cities, but you go to a place like Santa Paula and all of a sudden you become a big fish. And one of the things they want to do is they want to promote the city as a day stop for tourism. So come in, check out our museums, check out this. Well, one of the things that they would love to see is that we do regular shows every weekend.
Absolutely.
So that they can include that in their promotion.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah. And that would be great, having a different audience, because as you know, it's tough to bring in new acts and new talent so that people are getting a variety.
I would dream, man. My dream would be to have this venue in a tourist location where like just new people came in every time. Like I'd be
same show every time.
You
would never have to change it. You never see the same show twice. It's like great. It's perfect.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Guys, because of our little hiccup, I got another meeting that I got to jump onto. So love the conversation. Would love to have you guys back on again.
We look forward to it, and we look forward to. Yeah, again.
Yeah, and we look forward to October 8th, by the way, is when Raven will be coming to our stage.
I got a great about 30-minute show. It's going to definitely be some strong mind reading magic and some presentations, a little bit of both, and I think you guys will really have a fun time. Definitely, Migz will be there, of course, and as my cheerleader, we always do stuff together. So it'll be fun.
I'm there with the
You were
clipboard.
his cheerleader for his set.
He's
so-
there with a clipboard. Okay, you screwed up there. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's nice. It's we because we we got that eye for each other, and it helps out definitely. Yeah.
Very cool. All right, guys. It's great talking to you, Josh. I know we missed out on one of the segments, but hey, that's what happens when you go
Thank
live.
you, Josh. Thank you, James. It was great, and we'll see you tomorrow. Josh, are you coming as well?
That is to be decided.
Okay. Well, you're
I had
welcome.
no idea. He doesn't communicate with me,
I
so
didn't-
I
I
make
didn't
other
invite
plans.
Okay, so the door's open to you, brother, if you want to come, and if
All
not,
right,
next
cool.
time for sure. Absolutely.
Check out the
Awesome.
place. Yeah.
I didn't invite him because I wanted to have the attention all to myself.
He
No worries,
wanted
man.
you guys
No worries.
all to himself.
It'll be next month. Arthur Trace.
Okay.
Oh, that
Oh,
would be a great
yeah.
show, too. That
There
would
you
be a
go.
really great
Oh,
show.
they're both great.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming on. And
pleasure.
Joshua, here's your favorite part.
Abracadabra, hocus pocus, presto. Pick a card, any card. Some words are magic. They sparkle with the promise of something wonderful. But they're still just words until you add that something wonderful to the mix. And that's what you'll find at the White Rabbit Magic Shop in Santa Paula. Their inventory includes world-class tricks and illusions that are not only for sale, but that they will teach you to master. In addition, White Rabbit Magic Shop is world-renowned for its amazing collection of bicycle playing cards, with nearly 500 decks in stock. So, if you're serious about magic, then say it with us. At the White Rabbit Magic Shop, we believe
in
magic.
magic.
The White Rabbit Magic
Sorry,
Shop,
guys. We forgot to
located at
tell you about
15500
Joshua's grand
Telegraph Road,
plan.
Suite B15 in Santa Paula. For more information, please call 805-850-3051 or check us out online at wr-magic.com.
Yeah, Joshua loves to do
You
that.
spoke right over the address of this place. Oh
Well, they
my
don't need-
God.
They don't need the address. They need the phone number and the website. So,
Oh my God.
Raven and Migz, say it with us. We
We
believe,
believe in magic.
There we
You
go.
believe in the magic or magic?
Migz. We'll send you the script next time.
Yeah, I'll type it out for you, Mike.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. It was a great
Thanks so
show.
much.
We will talk to you. I will see you tomorrow.
Sounds good. See you then.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Later, guys.
Bye bye.